Assalamualaikum. So today what I'm going to show you is another type of a khichri, which is a Masoor Dal Khichri. It is something really interesting and fascinating that I found out about it. It's actually food of the Nawabs, and it is an Hyderabadi food. So I did some research on it, and it was pretty interesting. And I was like, I'm going to try this out so that we can also taste how it feels like having a great meal like this one. Now generally they do serve the khichri with keema, but we're just going to have it as plain. I guess they used to work a lot during those times and we don't do that much of activity, so just having it as plain and just tasting it would be a good idea. However, if you want to make some minced meat and serve it with that, you're more than welcome. I will be doing it with a small raita, which I'll show you later on. At this stage, what I want to do is go through the recipe itself. So I've got the rice, which is 1¼ mug of rice, and I've got less than half a cup of the lentils. And please look at it, it's the red one, which you can easily find in the grocery stores or even in the Indian grocery store or even in your local grocery shops. On the parts of the flavoring, we're going to use 1 onion. I've got a few cloves of garlic that I've already split them open, so about 5 of them. I've also got ginger, so we'll use both ginger and garlic. Because the rice is white, I decided to use the red chilies, and you could, to have a less hotter option, you can de-seed it. Generally they used green chilies, but I prefer to use red just to give it another color in the rice itself. And then I've got half a bunch of coriander that I have actually cleaned it out and kept it ready in the spice plate. So this is the most interesting part. I've got salt, which is 3/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of turmeric. That's all we need for flavoring. And then we've got the other spices like the cumin seeds, that's about 1 teaspoon. I've got 1 stick of cinnamon, so not very big one, but just 1 stick. I've got 4 cloves. I've got 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and I've also got bay leaves. So this is all for flavoring and to provide a good smell towards the Masoor Dal Khichri. Now what I need to do is to chop the onion, and I'm going to blitz I'm going to blitz the garlic and the ginger, and I'm going to chop off the coriander and the red chilies. And once I've done that, I'll show it to you. So you can see on the fire, my pan is already on the fire, and what I've done is that I've already started heating up the oil as I was chopping the onions just to save some time. And I have already chopped my onions lengthwise, so you can see while I was working in chopping the vegetables, oil got heated just to reduce the time for me in the kitchen. Now I've also gone ahead and sliced the chilies like this, so I didn't go very small on them. And I've already blitzed the garlic and ginger. I'll show you. So you can see I've blitzed it in such a way that it is not completely to a paste form, it's just finely chopped. I'll show it to you here. So that's how I wanted my ginger and garlic to be. So the first thing you want to do is to start getting the onions quite close to caramelization before we add the spices in it. So I'll wait for the caramelization now. So as you can see that the onions are pretty close to be caramelized. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to add the dry spices in it. So the whole plate of the dry spices as well as the ginger and the garlic, so that they can all cook at the same time. So after adding the ginger and garlic, I've also added the red chilies. Just taking it off the fire a little bit because my pan has become really hot. And this is what you will be seeing, that the onions have changed their color to caramelization. So you can already see it's got a beautiful green, it's got a beautiful red, it's got the spices getting in there, already smelling awesome. Ginger garlic also cooking very well. What we'll do is that we're going to add 1 glass of water so that we can add first the rice to cook. So you can see that the onions have caramelized beautifully, and in goes my 1 glass of water. Just so that we can stop a little bit of the cooking at this stage, because we don't want to go beyond this point. Now, what I'm going to do is I had already soaked the lentil that you had seen. I'll just drain it out and I'll put it in here. And in goes the lentil, and we'll just give it a boil. Now I had soaked my lentil about 3 to 4 hours before cooking, so 1 glass is sufficient enough for me to just give the opportunity for the lentil to cook. However, if you're cooking on the time, then you will need to add a little more water. If you haven't soaked your lentil, just a little more water to make sure that the lentil gets cooked. Now generally this dal doesn't take that long to cook, so what we're trying to do is just to eliminate the risk of having it raw. So I like to first boil this before I add the rice. So as you can see, the water that I put has almost dried and the lentil is almost done. What I need to do now is, because I had 1 1/4 glass of water of rice, I'm going to put 2 1/2 glass of water for the rice. So in goes the water for the rice, and now the coriander that I had left on the side, I'm now adding it. So that was half a bunch of coriander that goes in. And what we're going to do now is that we're going to cover it to boil it for the rice. We'll add the rice, check for seasoning again. So let's wait for the water to boil. In the meanwhile, I'll wash the rice. So the boil to the water has come, and believe me, it's really nice and beautiful smelling. I'm now adding that rice, and we'll stir it once. So after adding the rice, I've tested for seasoning and my salt was less, so I've added 1 more teaspoon, and look at it. This is how it will be looking like. So I'm going to leave the rice to boil as per normal until the water dries, and then we'll put it on the lowest heat to put it on steaming so that it can complete its cooking. I'll come back when we put it to the dum stage. So while we are waiting for the rice to complete, usually I said the khichri is served with mincemeat or keema, but the thing is, look, I'm thinking that the Nawabs would have big farms where they would be walking. Maybe they didn't have any cars at that time, so most likely they did a lot of walking compared to us guys nowadays, where we have a lot of luxuries in our lives. So instead of serving it with keema, what I've decided is to serve it with a nice coriander chutney. Now for my coriander chutney, what I've done is that I've got some 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, 1 green chili, half a bunch of coriander, and 300 grams of yogurt with half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of red chili. Now generally this chutney goes with a lot of things within my household, and so I usually make it extra and I keep it in the fridge. It can last for a week. So what we need to do, it's a very simple chutney. All these ingredients that you've seen, the chili, the garlic and the coriander and the red chili and the salt, they'll all go in my blitzer to be blitzed. And I like a thick foam of it, so what I do is that I take 2 tablespoons of this yogurt and I put it in the blitzer and I blitz it so that it gives that moisture to blitz it finely. So I'll show you what I meant. Tablespoons, like a big large tablespoons of the yogurt to help it blend. So we'll blend this away now. So this is what I meant, that it is going to all be finely chopped. Now taste for seasoning, I actually need to rush towards the rice. Let's have a look at that. So the coriander had come up, so I have already turned the rice once already. This is the second time I'm turning just to see how much water it has. So
The reason why we turn the rice is because we don't want these spices like the coriander or anything to be, you know, just in one area. We want it to be spread across everything, and you can see that in my rice it already looks beautiful. So I'm still going to wait for the water to dry, and then we'll go back to our chutney anymore. So here you can notice that this chutney that we just blended was it's become pretty waterish. What we'll do is that we'll put it back in the tin. And I'll just cook the rest as well. And just mix it in. So I'll mix it in to show you that it becomes nice and thick. It's going to be excellent on our rice. Alright, look, after mixing it thoroughly, it's no longer soupy. It's nice and thick and a great consistency. So that's why I said only 2 tablespoons in the blitzer, and the rest come into it over here. Now I've left it in this tin only because I'm going to use the same tin to actually store it in my fridge as well, and then remove it as we need to use it. So this is my beautiful chutney. I hope you like it. Let's get back to our rice and complete the cooking. So the water, you can see, has dried, and we're now going to be putting it to a process that is called putting it on a dum. Basically, dum means that you put it on the lowest heat possible and leave it for 5 to 10 minutes so that the rice cooks cooks well done. And this is basmati rice, so I'll do that for you. And generally, if you do not have, let's say, an electrical cooker, then you've got a gas cooker, take it to the lowest. Some people tend to put the chapati tawa under it, but when I cook on the gas as well, I usually go very carefully to the lowest gas cooking I can go to, and I leave there, and I've never had any problem. So we'll leave this for the next 5 to 7 minutes because the dal's done and the rice is beautifully done. So I think 7 minutes should be enough, and we'll come back and show you how to serve it. So it has been 5 minutes, and you can see that there's some steam escaping. That means this rice is done. That's how my mom taught me how to do it. If you open it, you can see that the steam has escaped. That means this rice is all done. So I'm now going to show you how I'm going to be serving it to my family. So here you go. I've just served it in a nice plate. Now I've also got my chutney on the other end. I'll just put it maybe just at the top, and we'll just eat it as we go on. I hope you liked my video. Please like my channel, share this video, and subscribe to my channel as well. Sorry, like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Nawab's food at your home as well. And looking forward to see you with the next video. Bye.